Hello everybody, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to do chapter 3 Chemical Reactions and Equations. Let's start. So, transformation of ice into water is an physical change. Cooking of food is chemical change. Ripening of fruit is also a chemical change. Milk turned into curd is also a chemical change. Evaporation of water is a physical change. Digestion of food into stomach is chemical change. Size reduction of naphthalene balls exposed to air, I don't know. Staining of shahabat or kadapa tile by lemon juice might be an chemical or physical change. Breaking of glass object on falling from a height is an physical change. So now the composition of matter remains the same the composition of matter remains the same in an physical change, and the composition of matter changes during the process or phenomenon is called as a chemical change. Let's read this next experiment. A physical change takes place due to change in parameters such as temperature, pressure. Often a physical change is reversible. So the way through which we can make from water, we can make no, like from water we can make ice again, and from ice we can make water. So this is sort of an reversible change. And even the breaking of glass. So like if a glass breaks, it can be joined into pieces. So when we call a particular process or phenomenon as chemical change, some chemical reactions are taking place in the concerned matter. A chemical change is the process in which some substances undergo bond breaking and are transformed into new substances by the formation of new bonds. The substances taking part in chemical reaction are called reactants, whereas the substances formed as a result of chemical reaction are called as products. For example, formation of carbon dioxide gas by combustion of coal in air is a chemical reaction. In the reaction, coal, carbon, and oxygen from the air are reactants, while carbon dioxide is the product. A chemical change is represented by writing a chemical equation. So exactly होता क्या है कि we have CO2, C so we can write an equation out of this. So we have C, coal, carbon, and oxygen. So C plus O2 gives out CO2. So okay, so C and O2 are the reactants and CO2 is the product. Next we go chemical equations. Okay, so chemical equations. We have in chemical equations a colorless solution of zinc sulfate ZnSO4 is formed on addition of zinc dust to the blue solution of copper sulfate CuSO4. The chemical reaction can be written as, so we take copper sulfate and zinc dust. Okay, so copper sulfate and zinc dust would give us ZnSO4 plus Cu. So this is what happens while writing chemical equations. And they can also write an equation when we use simple words. Such an equation is called as a word equation. The simple way of representing a chemical reaction in words is called as a word equation. So now we have written, for example, aqueous solution of copper sulfate plus zinc dust and so on. So this is an word equation where we have written it in words, and where we use chemical formulas, then it is called as a chemical equation. Let's read the next paragraph. The representation of a chemical reaction in a condensed form using chemical formula is called as chemical equation. In the above equation, copper sulfate, CuSO4 and zinc are the reactants. They react with each other to form copper particles, Cu, and a solution of colorless zinc sulfate. As the products have totally different properties, the ionic bond in the reactant CuSO4 breaks an ionic bond in the product. ZnSO4 is formed during the reaction. So we must have learned what is an ionic bond and what is a covalent bond. Ionic bond is either we give electrons or we take them, where we gain or accept electrons in simple words. And in hi-fi language, this bond is called as ionic bond in scientific language. And and covalent bond is the sharing of electrons. Just for some additional information, uh, carbon. Okay, so carbon like does not share or accept electrons, though its valency is of 4. Like we were having an example of NaCl. So in NaCl, what happens is that to complete its shell, it either takes electrons and then it becomes electropositive. So you will be learning it in further detail about chemical equations. Just now you have to understand what is ionic bond and what is covalent bond. Writing a chemical equation. In a chemical equation, the reactants are written to the left hand side and the products are written on the right hand side. An arrow is in between them. So if the reactants or products are 2 or more, they are linked with a plus sign in between them. Okay, so we draw a plus sign. So we had actually seen an equation CuSO4 plus Zn. So it had, okay, so CuSO4 plus Zn. So there were two reactants. When you have one or more reactants, you put a plus sign in between and then you put an arrow to show the reaction is happening in this direction. So we have an arrow which is heading towards ZnSO4. Third, to make the chemical equation more informative, okay, so now to make the chemical equation more informative, what we do is we actually write down some letters like G, L, and S. So the letter G represents gas or gaseous state, and L represents liquid state, and S solid state. So we write it down into brackets. And also, moreover, if the product is gaseous, instead of G, it can be indicated by an arrow pointing upwards. So it is also an alternative. If you don't want to write down G, you can show an arrow which is pointing upwards. If the product is insoluble solid in the form of an in form of an precipitate, then instead of S it can be indicated by arrow pointing downwards. So if we have an insoluble solid sort of an substance and which is in form of an precipitate, then instead of G we can write it down as an arrow which is pointing downwards. When reactants and products are in form of solution, in an arrow pointing downwards. When the reactants and the products are in form of an solution of an water, they are said to be in the aqueous solution state. Now in the third reaction, we can see that they have written it AQ. So ZnSO4 is in an aqueous state. Okay, so a water-like substance can be written as aqueous. Then the state is indicated by putting the letters AQ and bracket after their formula. Okay, so now look at the chemical equation. CuSO4 plus Zn gives ZnSO4 plus Cu. What is CuSO4? Copper sulfate plus zinc. It gives zinc sulfate plus copper. Then, when heat is given from outside to bring about a reaction, it is it is indicated by the sign of a triangle. So, for example, the reaction in which slaked lime is formed on heating limestone. Slaked lime is formed by heating a limestone. Please don't think that limestone is the nimbu pani that we really drink. It is CaCO3. Slaked lime does not mean the nimbu that we drink. Some people might think it as lime water. It is a different lime. That is calcium carbonate, CaCO3. So when we have CaCO3 and when we heat it, it gives CaO plus CO2. So calcium carbonate gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide, CO2 carbon dioxide. So calcium carbonate, when we heat it, it gives calcium oxide, calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Similarly, the fact that heat is released during the chemical reaction between aqueous solution of copper sulfate and zinc dust. Copper sulfate and zinc dust. So we have ZnSO4 plus Cu, and when we heat it, so when we heat the reaction of the solution of copper sulfate and zinc dust, the heat is released during the reaction. It is necessary to fulfill certain specific conditions like temperature, catalyst, etc. to bring about some reactions. These indications, these conditions are indicated below or given the arrow indicating the direction of the reaction. Yes, so as I told you before, the arrow which is between the reactants and the products is showing us the direction of the reaction. For example, the reaction of vegetable oil takes place at the temperature of 60 degrees Celsius with hydrogen gas in the presence of Ni catalyst. So, vegetable oil plus hydrogen, H2, hydrogen gives 60 degree. Okay, so what happens is that when we have the vegetable oil, whenever we take the vegetable oil, like when we place it to a temperature of 60 degrees Celsius, it starts reacting 60 degrees Celsius. So vegetable oil plus H2, and we put in nickel catalyst in the presence of hydrogen. So our product is Vanaspati ghee. Okay, so I had told you, you can see the reaction now. Vegetable oil plus H2, and at 60 degrees Celsius in the presence of nickel catalyst we get Vanaspati ghee. Special information or names of the reactants and products are written below their formula. Now copper on reacting with concentrated nitric acid gives an reddish colored poisonous nitrogen dioxide gas. So whenever we do a reaction with concentrated nitric acid, what is the formula of nitric acid? HNO3 and copper. it gives us a nitrogen dioxide. Okay, so now let's see the equation. Cu plus HNO3 gives CuNO3 ब्रैकेट के बाहर 2 प्लस 2NO2 प्लस टू H2O. So copper plus nitric acid gives CuNO3. Cu is copper and NO3 is nitric acid. Nitric acid plus NO2. NO2 is some nitrate or nitric, I think. It's some NO2 and like that. And H2O is hydrogen. H2O is water. Water, right? So this is one reaction. However, on reaction of dilute nitric acid, the product is formed as nitric oxide gas. So Cu plus HNO3 dilute, and then we get CuNO3 plus 2NO plus 4 plus H2O. So they have balanced these equations. So copper plus HNO3 is nitric acid. Then you get copper into brackets NO3, close the bracket and write 2 plus 2NO plus 4H2O. Okay, now we have a small blank over here. So you can try this experiment with the help of your teachers. I don't have a lab, so I cannot do it. Silver nitrate is used in Waters link. Remember this. Silver nitrate is used in the Waters link. So now we have balancing chemical equation. Let's see balancing chemical equation. Okay, so now step 1 is that we have to balance NaOH plus H2SO4. NaOH plus H2SO4. I would like to show you that how to balance such chemical equations. Just a minute.